Welcome back to the local W. You see this face, you understand what that means. Y'all know it's time for WNBA action. Yes, we made it through an entire winter and a little bit of the spring, and it is summertime yet again. You know, cue the riff-raff of Von. It's summertime. I don't need no sarsaparilla. I don't need no crystal ball. It's summertime yet again. That means it's time for the WNBA season. You survived a insane off season, but we were entertained by March Madness to get us to this point. So for all the, I won't call you casuals yet, but for all the new people interested in women's sports, we'll call it that, this little intro video should help guide you into the WNBA season. Because yes, the tournament is over. Shout out to South Carolina and all that good stuff. But now, basically, everyone y'all were obsessing over is going to the WNBA now. So you need some guidance, because I've been seeing some takes that are absolutely disgusting. And I feel like y'all need some guidance to help usher you into this new season that we're about to be a part of, but that's neither here nor there. So, you got the draft coming up, I believe, next week. Now, as a fan of the Atlanta Dream, I don't have to worry about the lottery because we made the playoffs. So all you basement dwellers can have fun with the Caitlin Clarks and the Angel Reeses and all that, you know, Juju and them. Have a wonderful time, you lottery bums. Because I don't know nothing about that. We made the playoffs. Atlanta made the playoffs. So I don't know nothing about that. But let me inform you on some of the major storylines going into next season. Again, because a lot of y'all have no idea what's going on here. You're just following players. So let me usher you in, take my hand. Local W's got you. All 7 men is here to explain it all to you right now. Now, one of the main rivalries, if you will, is something you should just know off rip, is the 2 super teams we have going back and forth. And then basically the rest of the league just exists and tries to win games in between these 2 juggernauts just doing what they've been doing for the last year. You've got the Las Vegas Aces, and then you've got the Brooklyn Liberty. Now, they go by the New York Liberty, but I say Brooklyn Liberty because they play at the Barclays. So I feel like that makes them the Brooklyn Liberty, but that's neither here nor there. Excuse me not being canon. I'm just awfully petty, and I like to say things how they are, but that's neither here nor there. So you have on the Aces, championship Aces. They won the ring last year in a pretty dominating fashion, if you ask me. You had Chelsea Gray, who I believe was hurt in the last game. He was either the last game or the last 2 games. This was several months ago. I'm trying to go back in my memory. I believe she was hurt the last game, and then they still won, which I found hilarious. You got Candace Parker, who again was hurt for basically the entire postseason, almost the whole season, and they still won. And I'm assuming she's coming back, so that's something else you have to factor into the equation of how dominant they are. You have Asia Wilson, who is on bags of chips, so I think that should tell you all you need to know about her dominance. My God. Then you got Miss Plum, who is doing, I don't know if she's dropping a book, but the media press run she's been doing in this offseason has been spectacular. Shout out to her. And that's just like the main stars. We haven't even gotten into I'm trying to think of the right word. I don't want to say role players because that sounds super disrespectful, but the real album cuts, if you will. Right? Like, I just gave you the singles. I didn't even tell you the album cuts yet. You know what I mean? Like, we got some real individuals on this team, right? So that's just the stars, right? Let's go over to Brooklyn for a second. You've got Sabrina Ionescu, who was on the cover of last year's 2K. So again, that should tell you her star power. Whether it was warranted or not, we can talk about that another day. Again, y'all have so much to catch up on. There is so much drama, but I am making just a quick intro version for it. So you've got Sabrina Ionescu, the current golden child of the WNBA. I feel like that is about to shift drastically, but that's not here nor there. You've got Jonquel Jones, who I mess with, even though when she's playing against someone who I like, I'm disgusted with her actions. Very physical player. Very, very physical player, but extremely talented. You've got the former and, well, current MVP, current reigning MVP of the WNBA. You've got Stewie. I don't think I know her name. Breanna Stewart. We always just call her Stewie, and for a second I was like, wait, what is her name? Breanna Stewart, right? She's really, really, really good. And I'm vomiting in my mouth as I say this because, again, I don't particularly care for the celebrity. There are so many things y'all gotta catch up on, but that's not here or there. They've got quite the squadron themselves. Again, I only name like the top tier stars because we could go the Courtney Vandersloot route, but as a casual, you don't know who those people are yet. I'm just letting you know the stars, right? The absolute tippy top stars. So you basically have these two super teams that we all know are going to the finals again, but we just hope that our team, in my case, that would be the Atlanta Dream, are going to shake things up, possibly, get their Taylor Swift on and shake it up or something like that, and trying to make some noise in the playoffs. Last year, that dark horse, no Katy Perry team was definitely the Connecticut Sun. Coming off of what I think was a highway robbery of her not getting MVP, you got Alyssa Thomas. My bad if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Alyssa Thomas. Again, we call everyone by nickname, so, if you go on a WNBA Twitter, everyone's just saying AT. So it's like, I very rarely am saying people's whole name. Normally we just kind of say letters and stuff like that. Say Diana Taurasi, right? No one knows how to spell that, so I feel like we all just say DT. If we're talking about a Brittany Griner, we say BG. We very rarely say people's names in the WNBA community, and for me, it's because I can't spell it. But for other people, I think it's just I don't know. It's just how things work in this world. So if you see two letters, just kind of do some deductive reasoning of okay, DT, that's gotta be Diana Taurasi. You know what I mean? Our GOATs, if you will. I'm not gonna really cover that because I feel like it's very controversial and it depends on who you ask. Some people will bring up, your show swoops. Some people are gonna bring up Maya Moore. Some people are gonna bring up Diana Taurasi. You know what I mean? It depends on who you ask. I'm not going to say mine because I don't want to just have a million people attack our video right now. Even things like who's the logo, you know what I mean? There are just so many fun things that y'all have to be introduced to, right? You've got last year's #1 pick in Miss Boston, right? She went over to the Fever, had a fun season. I believe she got Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to her. They didn't make the playoffs. I'm sure they'll get Caitlin Clark, so there'll be a fun little tag team. How a shoot first guard and post player are going to get along, I'm not sure, but hey, Shaq and Kobe happened, so who knows, right? So you got that going on. You have teams that are kind of on the come up, but no one really speaks about them like that. You still got Washington, the Mystics doing their thing, but there's been a lot of trades. It's just way too much. The best thing to do is just pick a team, right? There's 12. Pick a team. I would suggest going with a team that's closer to where you live because then you can kind of see them live, because going to a game live is just, it's great. It's just a great experience. And it's the same way for any other sport you would support. Going to see them live is kind of where you really embrace the community and stuff like that. If you are a South Carolina fan and you're a part of the Dawn Staley Disciples and stuff like that, I would happily recruit you to the Atlanta Dream. I mean, we're right next door. I think the next nearest team is the Mystics or something like that up in DC. So it's come aboard. You know what I mean? I would suggest going with a team that is close to where you live and just kind of going off of that. People in the New York area, you got the Connecticut Sun. You've obviously got You got the Liberty and stuff like that. You're not really like super far from the Fever. I mean, you kind of are. I guess that's kind of like your Midwest. No, but like even in the Midwest, right? Like you could go the Fever route in Indy, or you can go with the Lynx and Minnesota and stuff like that. And they're not a bad team either. I mean, you've got older vets like Elena Deladon, who's always hurt, but when she is there, she's extremely amazing. You can go with literal goats, and you could swing over to Phoenix, be with the Mercury and such. They got Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner just re-signed or whatever. I believe Skylar Diggins went to Seattle, so that's the Storm. So you got, I'm pretty sure she went over to the Storm. I think so. It was just a lot of movement. So now she's with Jewel Lloyd. I mean, it's just. And Jewel Lloyd is really, really good, by the way. Like, there are individuals. So, like, if you were watching the tournament, like, wow, they're so good. Well, not duh. But keep in mind that those players are college students, right? Now, granted, they were, like, seniors and stuff like that. And some of them are, like, juniors. So, I won't call them children. But they were playing against people that maybe pulled an all-nighter because they had to be prepared for their chemistry presentation. So no shot at the competition in the March Madness tournaments or whatever, but they were playing college students. So just keep that in mind when the season starts. Your favorite college athlete was playing against a child. They are now in the most competitive league in the entire world. There's only a certain amount of slots, and I know everyone's excited about these new people, but just keep in mind, you couldn't have told me Destiny Henderson wouldn't be a star right now, and where is she now? Kennedy Carter is just now getting back in the league in Chicago with the Sky. So again, I'm not taking any wind out of anyone's sails, just everyone have realistic expectations. Because this won't be the first time we've got an amazing recruit coming into the league. You still got to get past the vets, right? I want to see what these individuals do. When you got old lady from the Wings, Agumawale. I want to see what happens when she's in front of you, pulling from half court, hitting the hezzies and stuff like that. Like, it's going to be a long night at the office, regardless which team you go to. And that's the thing about the WNBA. Granted, you might have some lottery teams, but there's 12, right? So every team is loaded with talent. It's just who's more OP. There's no trash teams in the league outside of the Fever. Maybe that's a hot take. But outside the Fever, there are no trash teams. And now, are they even trash going to get Caitlin Clark? You know what I mean? So it's like every game is competitive. Every night is competitive. Just pick a team, jump on in, kind of consult WNBA Twitter, like what your particular fandom is, and you should have a good time. Regardless that I will be referring to as a casual the entire season. And I had to earn my stripes as well. This is my 4th season. I feel like I am like just now able to speak with my chest about things. But just know, we want you to have a good time. Just be respectful. Understand that you are coming into a world that you have no prior context to whatsoever. This might be the first time a lot of y'all have even watched an entire season of a professional women's sport league. So just keep that in mind that you are new here, and just be respectful, and we will embrace you with open arms. Just be ready for the tea, be ready for the drama, and if you don't have a Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, make one now, because the tea, the WNBA just brings some of the best tea, I think. Like, it's not just on the court for me. It's the whole shebang. It's the best league in the world. Tap in. That's all I can say. I'm Sever the Bond. You are on the local W. Be sure to subscribe for all sorts of WNBA content. I am your Atlanta correspondent for the local W in the WNBA season. I will be covering the Atlanta Dream here. It's going to be difficult to not use naughty words, but I can do it. And I believe in myself. And then come playoff time, I think we all know what the finals are going to be again. So for all you Liberty fans and Ace fans, don't worry. We'll be right back here in August. But that's not here or there. I will see y'all later. Enjoy the draft. I might make a video just covering the big names and such, and obviously whatever the Dream do, because that's my division. My division. Sorry. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Welcome to the WNBA, and get ready for the most entertaining season I think we've ever had. Wait till Courtney Williams gets a look. I'm not gonna get us canceled. I'm gonna see y'all later. And to specify that, I meant the Dukes, right? I meant the Dukes. I've already said too much. My fault. I'm gonna see y'all later.